Hello. Can you hear me? Hello, hello.
So easy to use. It's so cool.
Intuitive.
Yes, it's just simple.
Right.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh, you can hear me? That's good. I got getting nervous.
Nope, he had not turned on our microphones yet.
Oh, okay, that's good. When we get to the Pledge of Allegiance, I can't stand because I'm driving, so you'll have to forgive me.
Be safe.
I don't know.
It's like the clicking sound of lights warming up. Yeah.
Huh?
Is Rebecca on? Okay, thank you. 72 tomorrow. 73 on Wednesday. That's, oh, and then 28 next week? No,
Yes.
no. Nope.
It was 77 in Maryland when I left.
It was 72 in East Stroudsburg when I went to get a quick bite to eat.
And when I went out to the tennis court to watch Hank play, it was 71.
Very
It was
nice.
very nice.
The perfect afternoon for tennis.
It was. It was.
How did he do?
They won their doubles.
Very nice. Has anybody heard from Rebecca? I don't have her cell number.
She typically texts.
Said she would be here. She said she would be on.
I can text her. Yep, I'm getting a message back.
Bubbles?
Bubbles.
You see the dots?
I see that I'm connecting the dots. She just pulled in. So if we just give her a minute.
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect.
It's ridiculous.
I have to like stare at it because it's all like invoice stuff. And I have them block this one.
Mhm.
Most of them aren't vendors. I'll always check to see if they're okay.
This one.
Do you need to be on Zoom?
No, I'm trying to get onto the agenda.
Can you get off? Zoom?
I can get off that altogether.
Perfect. So if you go to board docs, you can get to the agenda.
I'm just trying to get the board doc.
Hi, how are you?
Because I don't want to join the webinar, I want to get the board docs.
Go to East Stratford Area School District. And go to right here.
Where? Here?
Oh, where it says here.
I can't see where.
Right where your mouse is.
Oh.
And do. Next one, click home. Yep.
There we
And
go.
then go to Board of Education.
There we go. Yeah, I know. Once I get it to that screen, then
There you go.
that's so much easier now that you showed me how to do it.
No problem. Thank you for waiting for me. Every car was like going slow. All right, we are going to call our meeting to order. If we could please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Tricia, may we please have a roll call?
Yes. Rebecca Bear,
I am present.
George Andrew,
Present.
Keith Carcutt.
He said he's going to try to join online.
He's on. It was.
Yep, he's on, okay.
Okay. And Rich Lamus,
Present.
or present.
Okay. Do we have a motion to approve the agenda? As
So moved.
presented? Oh, you're quick today, Keith.
I
Second.
was on mic, sorry.
You're right. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, a motion to approve the minutes as presented from last meeting.
So moved.
Second,
Aye.
aye.
Perfect. So before we start, I do have the Finance Committee purpose statement. I brought it with me, so Keith, I will email it to you. I think I did email it to you already though, but I'll
Okay.
pass it out. You guys have it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
There we go. All right. So I know this was something that I was supposed to have last month, but since I was away, we figured we'd wait until tonight. So guided by the district's vision of maximizing today's potential for tomorrow's success, the Finance Committee serves as a steward of public resources to support student learning, equity, and long-term sustainability. The committee aligns financial decisions with the district's mission by prioritizing safety and belonging, advancing inclusion and equity, supporting innovative and limitless learning opportunities, and fostering solution-focused, data-informed decision-making. Through transparency, fiscal responsibility, and community partnership, the Finance Committee works to build resilience, trust, and hope, ensuring the district remains strong today and prepared for tomorrow.
Sounds good to me.
That's good.
Mhm.
Sounds great. That is 100% the mission and vision. I love it. Thank you. Thank you.
And thank you for Rich for doing that for properties and facilities and inspiring us to do that here.
Thank you.
All right. So our first item on the agenda is the expenditure review
Revenue review.
and revenue. I'd rather revenue than expenditures.
Yes.
Us too.
All right.
So you have two reports. I labeled them on the top right for you so you can see how they're ordered. The first one's revenues by function, then object, and then the second one is object by function, and then function. Just different groupings, but mostly the same for revenues, the way they look.
I like the way they look. Thank you.
Any questions about revenue?
So that's through the 7th period, right? So
Yes.
January, end of January.
It's as of
Yes, this is through January 31st.
31st, yeah.
The biggest outlier with this is just if you look at function 7,800, the revenues from the Commonwealth. That is for the PSERS reimbursement, and that's done quarterly, and we were 2 of 4 of those. So they're about $4.6 million each. So that's why there's a big number there. So
Where's that at now?
7,800.
7,800, the outstanding or the balance between the budget and actual so far is around 11.8 million. So there should be 2 more payments coming in for that of around $4.6 million
And then we're done.
with that one. Yeah, that's like the biggest outlier.
Yep.
One of them.
Unless they want to keep giving us money and then we'll take that. Any questions about revenue?
No, I just wish we had more.
Don't we all? Okay.
You then have the expenditure reports organized in the same way by function and object, and then also by object and function.
Also through January 31st.
Any questions on the expenditures?
This is until January 31st. Nope.
Are there any unexpected expenditures or big expenditures we should be aware of?
Nothing unexpected
Okay,
as of yet.
okay.
No, we were how far through the school year? More
Is it-
than halfway.
This is 100 days, right? Is it like January 31st is the 100 days when they start celebrating in the elementary school, 100 days and they dress up? Isn't that like around that time?
So, yes,
Yeah.
so it's usually because of snow and weather, it's usually around Valentine's Day.
Okay.
So we should be about 50% on the budgets.
Mostly, but
Well,
always
so-
remember your teachers are accrued right through the summer. Yeah.
I love when they do 100 days. Oh, my, I think it's so cute.
Mhm. Any questions about expenditures?
Nope.
I think I'm up then, right?
Yeah, budget update, which,
All right, budget update. So we presented last month that we are anticipating a $34.4 million deficit. We have spent a lot of time going through the budget. I just kind of want to go over what we've done. Next month, we're going to have PFM come and discuss a possible debt restructure. The debt restructure would pull $3 million off next year's budget. What we've asked of PFM is that the debt balances for next year, it would be 10 million. And then the 3 years after that, it's 15 million, 15.8. And then starting in 30-31, it's 5 million, 5.5 million, and then it drops to 5,000. So what we've asked them to do is smooth out that for us. So they were able to scoop out of next year and then the 3 years of 15 to make them 10, not 15. It prolongs it. They will do a whole presentation, but we first needed to ask, is it possible? Because you have to spend the money, you have to repay the loan before the life of the project is expired. So they basically said yes, but 2 things. 1, this is probably the last time we can restructure. And 2, there is a concern about our credit rating.
is it
It-
because of our,
Could decrease because we've now restructured twice.
Twice, right?
But it is possible, and it does take $3 million off of next year's budget. So PFM is going to come and they're going to present to the board as a whole, right? Is that what we said?
Or financing.
Finance committee. And then you will make a decision of where you want to go and move forward. They would need to know June would make it comfortable for them
Mhm.
because our payment is due September 1. If you remember, we did this very late in the summer and they rushed to get it done. We don't want to make them rush again. So if this is something we're considering, we will continue to move forward with PFM coming in April and then the finance committee making a recommendation to the board. Yes?
okay,
Okay. So Matt, Mr. Zoll, Dr. Bukowski, Mr. Snyder, and I spent an entire day holed up in my office doing a deep dive on the budget. In that day, we were able to remove about 3.77 from the budget as a whole. What we've removed, just some big ticket items or some big items that we just want everyone to be aware of. We've removed field trips, professional conferences, all refreshments for staffs. We've removed Google Chromebooks for next year, certain professional development that we were planning, security camera upgrades, the advertising and media budget, and any upgrades to classroom furniture. We also reviewed and updated requests versus actual expenditure. So some of the budgets were budgeted high versus the last 3 or 4 years of trend data. So we've adjusted them based on what our actual trends are. We found that some of our budgets had contingency funds built into each budget. So every department was building a contingency fund, but that's why we have the budget reserve. So as we went back to all the budgets, and Matt has done a masterful job working with each department, we've said, no, we don't want you to have a contingency fund. That's what the budget reserve is. Now, we don't want to get too tight on our budget because then we won't have any contingency funds, but we removed part of that. We've clarified some contracts, we've renegotiated some contracts and gotten that down. So all of that, and then other obviously items, but those are the big items that we think you would really want to know about, have pulled away about 3.8 million from that the 34.4 deficit.
So
Of that $3 million, a big chunk of that is the laptops, aren't they?
The laptops and the security cameras are about 1.5 million of it.
So with
They're
the,
each about 800,000.
so the laptops, are we going to recycle for like the elementary, like the high school ones that are turned in when they graduate?
So what we have a 4-year life cycle of computers. What I've asked Mr. Borash to do is do a 5-year cycle. What happens if we keep them a 5th year? What does that look like? So he's working on that plan.
And is every laptop that is returned not usable? Like say, I graduate this year.
He's working on that data as well. But what we've done to buy us time is those Chromebooks, he's working on what a 5-year cycle would be. And also when we do a 4-year cycle, how many of them are not functioning anymore? So he's going to get me that data.
And I see he's
But
on too.
hi, Mr. Borash, but these numbers
Well,
are devices that would be deployed to students for the following school year. So these numbers are not for 26, 27 use. They're actually for 27, 28. So
Because
we
we've
don't,
already purchased last year.
but right now what we do is right now, you guys last month approved
For next year.
for us to get them and get them out to students over the summer. This would have a July 1. If we decide to stay with the 4-year cycle, it just moves it a year,
Mhm.
but it buys us a year of $900,000.
If you wanted to add anything.
What is I know we've discussed this before. What is the actual lifespan of a Chromebook?
It depends on the student who has it.
Brian,
That's the correct answer. It depends on the student. Middle school students are a little bit rougher on them. There's some we get back from students in the elementaries at the end of 4th grade, and seniors that turn them in that look like they're brand new. Some not so much. So whatever we collect when that 4-year cycle ends, we keep, and we keep them as spares to be utilized currently.
But yeah, I get that, but like I know Chromebooks have a lifespan because of the way they're built. They can't last forever. What is in a perfect world? How many years can you get out of a Chromebook?
Well, I feel like 4 is ideal. Could we stretch it to 5? Possibly. Again, I'm working through that data right now. I'm looking at work order data and such.
But 6 years is too much to ask for.
I would never recommend going to 6 years. Absolutely not. I think that's way too long.
So if we do it every 4 as is right now, so a kindergartner gets it and then they get a new one in 5th grade, correct?
So we adjusted that slightly. It would be 1st, 5th, 9th.
Okay,
And when the seniors graduate and return those, they would go to kindergarten. That's
Gotcha.
where we get the 5th year out of those devices, because kindergarten probably has, at best, I would say, a 50 to 60% usage rate,
Mhm.
and they're not taking them home. They're staying in the classrooms in the carts.
Right.
And they don't need the high demand
Right.
utilization.
Because I almost think that for a 5-year cycle would work well for elementary. And then maybe, 4 for the high school, and then middle school, we have to kind of play it by ear, like you said, Mr. Borosh, because who knows what they do with them. I've seen some middle school laptops and they're scary. And I've seen some others that look pristine. So I guess it depends on, how they treat their computers.
And
Well,
just to
advise
put
us
a, just to put a little shameless plug in, that's why we have those cases on the agenda here coming up, so that we can hopefully maintain the devices in a pristine fashion.
Mhm. Any other questions about that?
Are we talking Chromebooks or anything that you discussed?
Anything.
Anything up into the bulleted item that I
Okay.
haven't gone over the last 3?
What do you mean the both?
I'm concerned with field trips,
Okay,
because our field trip policy, there are multiple types of field trips. I mean, and I'm just concerned. I mean, I don't know how much money field trips cost, because a lot of field trips are fundraised and funded by assistance from parents. And a field trip could be, if you read our policy, a field trip could be a club. It could be a lot of different things, not just in classroom. And one of the things that the field trip policy recognizes, that we as a board, are interested in beyond the classroom learning for our students. And I'm just concerned with that.
I don't disagree. I value field trips. So this would not be competitions for clubs or activities, and this does not include athletics. This would be curricular-based field trips that students travel on that have a cost to the district.
120,000.
It's
we have
about-
budgeted.
We budgeted 120,000 for field trips, and that is what was removed.
And transportation is part of that, which is moving money to cover that.
Because I know this is years back though, because my kids are graduated, but when I was PTO president at Resica, our Tricky Tray, our Gertrude Hoff fundraisers, all of that usually covered 100% of the field trips.
So I want to be really clear. You have to make some value statements when you talk about things like this, and you have to think broader. I believe that every student should have access to the same opportunity in our district, no matter what elementary school they're at. If you're at an elementary school that has a lower socioeconomic population, their PTA and PTO might not be able to
Gotcha.
fundraise. So do we want to hold our PTAs, PTOs responsible for, you must pay for our curriculum-based field trip to go to Cranberry Bog, as an example? Is that what we want as a district to say? Because then what's going to happen is 4 of our elementary schools might be able to fundraise it, 2 might not. Well, then what do we do there? And are we, and listen, you as a board can make these decisions, but are you comfortable when we're saying it's a curriculum-based field trip, that it's adding to the curricular experience and the content that we're delivering in the classroom? Are you comfortable with disparity and unequal access? If we want to go back to the statement that
Correct.
you
So
just
I'm asking
read,
questions.
it would be unequal access and inequity based on what the PTAs are going to be able to fundraise. I also think we should not make our parents solely responsible for curriculum-based content.
Agreed.
So, see, you referenced, say, the Cranberry Bog trip. My kids both went on that trip. and it was an excellent addition to the program. Are you so how are you going to give the kids that experience without going to say the bog and experience science in that way?
So one, phenomenon-based science right now as it's instructed is completely different than it was. So they have much different experiences, but the reality is we're not. Right now, we have a $34.4 million deficit. What we're trying to do is to break that deficit down so that we can afford the budget that we're looking at, which means that we have to make some really hard decisions. And by you saying that they're valuable makes it feel like I'm saying it's not valuable. I'm not saying that. I value field trips. I believe that field trips add to the experience for students and are an incredible value. However, it's, well, do we purchase, pay for field trips, or do we get rid of all professional development for teachers? Or do we? So everything in the $34.4 million that we need to claw back is going to be sacrificing something instead of something else. So we have to make very, very hard decisions. $34.4 million is a very large number. None of these things are good, because I would argue I want my security cameras to be completely updated for the safety and security of everybody. I would argue that I want my teachers to have the raised professional development, which is reading apprenticeship, which is at the secondary level, so every teacher knows that they are a reading teacher. That is quality professional development. I would love for our classrooms to have more flexible seating and updated furniture. I would love for my professional staff and administrative staff to be able to go to conferences and learn at a national level what trends are. I would love all of this, and it all has value. But when we sat down as your administrative team, we are tasked with bringing you a budget that you can afford. This is what we have decided to remove from the budget. This was a conversation between all of your kind of central office cabinet people of what are we comfortable with that does not destroy or significantly impact programming. And this is a one-day experience for our students out of 176 instructional days that we have in our calendar. This is one day that it's impacting. What we're trying to do is not impact programming on a day in, day out. These are hard decisions, Mr. Carcutt. You are struggling with it. I hear it. I understand it. I am there as well. But the reality is I also know we need to do significant adjustments to our expenditures because we need to make up the difference because we can't afford the budget that we presented. So things have to be cut.
Okay, I get it, but I think we need to look at our policy and adjust it then, because field trips are, so a field trip could be considered, say, the senior class trip. That's a field trip. So now the seniors can't have their class trip.
So we are going to be bringing to you within the next month an updated policy to delineate the difference between field trips and class trips and what that difference is. But yes, so what we're saying is that a curriculum-based field trip that connects to the curriculum is not going to be paid for. Class trips, that will be up for discussion. As long as it has a zero balance on the budget and every student has access to it.
Okay, well, and this is we're just discussing this right now. This is all pending approval. So this is just a discussion. So we can look at options for the future too.
Yeah, just to be clear, all of these things have been removed from the budget. So the next budget that we bring you is going to have these things out of the budget. Because this is what our recommendation is. If you as a full board decide that you want to put that back in, that is fine. But then we're going to have to find something else that we need to remove to help get our budget down to somewhere close to being balanced.
Okay.
So sacrifices are going to have to be made. If it's not this, it's going to be something else. And what has the least amount of impact?
As a reference for the future, if you're going to offer these suggestions, the ways to shave the budget, could you give us a dollar amount for each item and how much we're savings for each item?
Sure.
Instead of just lumping it all together, so we can see the impact of how much we're spending on this versus how much we're spending on that. Just so we can see our cost savings if we,
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, I just caution us that like the advertising media budget, I think we saved 48,000 there. Well, we can't start to get to say like, oh, well, it's only 48,000. It's not that big a deal. Put it back in. Or it's only 120,000 out of a $227 million budget. I'm happy to put the cost in, but I also don't want us to see smaller proportional numbers and be like, oh, no, that's okay to add in, because if you start to add back in, we're going in the absolute wrong direction.
Okay. I see
Yep.
that. Point
Absolutely.
taken.
Yeah, thank you. So the next bulleted item was, I believe we need to reevaluate the catch-up for the EBTEP trust, which is our health insurance trust. $5.2 million is embedded in that 34.4. What we're going to propose is, I want to see what our projected deficit is for this year. And if we don't have the full realized projected deficit, I would like to do a lump sum this year, not 5.2, and pull that 5.2 out of next year's budget. Because also that 5.2 is the full catch-up, but the next bullet is staffing review. We're reviewing staffing and we're decreasing, we've readjusted special ed, some of them, so we're reducing some administrators. We're certainly reducing some professional staff through the retirement incentive. We will have less people on the insurance, so perhaps that 5.2 isn't the full necessity. So
That's what we find in the aside or the committed, is that number?
so we have 9 million in the future retirement and 3 million in future healthcare.
That's in the.
But you can uncommit that
That's what
and
I'm saying.
move it
Well,
elsewhere.
that's why I was asking.
Right, but like,
Those numbers with the board can uncommit, any of those uncommit or unassigned.
correct.
With board approval or your.
Correct,
On the-
but the reality is we still only have under 41 million without this year's deficit.
Yeah, no.
So whether it's committed or not, you're still short.
Yeah, but I'm trying to get money back into we're trying to get money back into the budget, right?
Right, but this isn't getting money back into the budget. It stays in the fund balance
It stays in the fund, yeah.
and until we move it from the fund balance over to the operating fund.
Didn't we make a sizable catch-up payment already?
We paid the retiree portion that we weren't doing last year. At the end, towards the end of the year, we made a payment to make sure we're recovering those costs.
So yes, the CFO decided to take a holiday from the retirement trust in paying. So we had to catch up on what was not paid that should have been paid.
Okay. So we're refunding the retirement trust, not the actual the employee trust. That
No,
part.
we did that last year, the retirement. Now we need to do the full trust, because they would like us to be at 4 months, and at the end of the school year, we'll be at about 1.8 months. So
Okay, well yeah.
we're
That's
still
in
not at zero.
Right.
We're still almost at 2 full months. If we can make a catch-up payment out of this year's budget, we can pull it out of next year's budget. And maybe if we're at 3 months, that's closer.
Gotcha.
But I'm sure we're not the only district in this situation, because I know years ago we were one of the only districts that was up to date, and that sort of thing. We were helping the other districts. So in a perfect world.
In a perfect world, but we are currently the lowest right now in the trust
Of the fund balance per month.
per month.
Yeah, of monthly.
Okay.
We're constantly doing a staffing review as more teachers announce retirement. We received 2 today. We are looking at attritional savings and do they need to be replaced as people resign and break from the district. We're also looking and evaluating all of those positions. I think that we need to be very, very clear that the administration will suggest to the board a millage increase to the index, which is 5%, which would yield us about 4.425 million.
Question in regards to that.
Yeah.
What is the rebate that taxpayers are getting this year? Did it go up again?
We do not have that information just yet. That doesn't usually come out the
Till
funds
after.
release that.
No,
Yeah.
usually we get it right before the budget, because I know
Yeah,
last year
but-
we got it.
Yeah, just realize though, it's still the beginning of March. I don't think we got that until about February of last year, until about April of last year.
Okay. I was just wondering if we had any inkling, is it going to be more than last year, less than last year, same?
I don't know. If I go off commercials and the amount of sports betting that happens, I'm gonna think it's gonna be more, but I can't give you that.
$5 off.
Correct. I can't give you, I'm not a betting person, so I
No,
can't
nor
give
am
you
I,
that.
that's why.
But we'll look to see of when that date is released. What we will do in April is we will bring you a cleaner budget.
Yeah.
But we just wanted to let you know kind of what we've been working on in the last month.
Because I know over years past, we've gotten slightly more towards the farmstead homestead rebate with the budget,
Correct.
but don't know if that's going to happen again. And I was just thinking in my head, okay, 5, but if the farmstead increases,
Correct.
goes up a little bit, because then it won't be as detrimental to somebody's pocketbook.
Correct. Last year, we increased 2 millage percentage points.
Mhm.
And I just want to be really clear with everybody, all of our public that is watching, that did not increase our revenue. It made us whole from the $2 million that we lost in commercial real
Correct.
estate tax reassessments. So, but you were right that the percentage we got from the farmstead homestead for people who had a primary residence,
Mhm.
they did not feel it. They actually still got more money back from the farmstead homestead. But this, we cannot guarantee that's going to be the
Okay.
case. Yep.
And
It's a great
then
question.
are we anticipating, I know this is a Chris Brown question, so I apologize, but maybe you know. Are we anticipating any more loss in revenue from commercial properties? Or are we maybe looking at possibly gaining some, since I do see some construction happening in certain places?
So yes, we're always hoping that we have commercial real estate or real estate development happening. I do not know of any reassessments that are happening currently
Okay.
that would impact us.
Because I've also seen some real estate, commercial real estate change hands, some purchases.
Mhm.
So I'm hopeful that that helps us rather than hurts us.
I am very hopeful as well.
Any other questions, comments? Sorry, I monopolized.
No, I'm happy to have them. The next one is the senior rebate form. So, I can honestly tell you that a local legislator reached out to us and told us that our senior rebate process is a little bit more cumbersome than other school districts, and they have asked us to change it. I can tell you it's nothing I ever looked at until we got that email. So, I mean, kudos to the office for reaching out to us. Erin DeRosa reached out. She's also a board member in Stroudsburg. And when we looked at it, it is in fact more difficult. It's a little bit trickier. It has the same information, but the layout, so we are looking to update that. That will be coming to you in April.
As we should.
Smithfield, did you have anything to say about that? I'm monopolizing.
Just that some of the requirements we're gonna look at to match some of our surrounding districts with the forms that we require to verify the information. So in addition to like a reformat with that, we're gonna offer that option with less kind of backup paperwork, and we're gonna work on creating an electronic form as an offering if people want to fill out that form, but we're still gonna offer a paper form as well for those that still need.
And we still mirror what the state gives, correct? Because we used to have, I know like 6 years ago, we had it more than what the state offered, but we decided to mirror the state rates now. Is that still the case?
The current resolution, I believe, does say, yeah. Mary.
Okay.
What are we talking about?
The
Senior
senior
rebates.
rebates.
Oh, senior,
Senior,
I
yeah.
thought, okay, yeah.
So Smithfield Gateway Project, this is just an FYI. Last week I met with Jim DePietris. He is the owner of Legend Properties. Legend Properties owns the Smithfield Gateway Project along with some other properties in our county. He spoke to me about that we had done a TIF with Legend Properties that allows for 500 residential apartments. They are looking to move away from that and move to 2 data centers. He presented that to me and is going to be seeking the board's support for that. I did not feel comfortable gaining the board support, so I've asked him to attend the March board meeting. So he will be here and he will present what the project is, and then he will present his ask. He also called me late last week to let me know that there's something going on in Smithfield Township where they're trying to zone it so it cannot be data centers. So
I was under the impression that, or at least what I've read, that Rosemary Brown believes that she wants more research done on data centers before they come into our area.
So yes, I believe she has made that statement.
Anybody else have anything to add in regards to that? I know, Rich, you attended some township meetings as well in regards to that.
Yeah, but I think we should hear from him first, and then I have my views on it. I'll let you know at that point.
Yeah, so he'll come and speak and he'll present. The IDEA Part B, that's.
Well, I
on
would
you.
hope
I
that
have
they
no
wouldn't
idea.
make a quick decision on not allowing data centers.
I'm sorry?
They would not make a quick decision on not allowing.
Well, I don't think it's our job to say whether he can or cannot build a data center. We are not the township, we are not the zoning authority. What we can say is that we're not comfortable amending the TIF. So I think,
Yes.
that
That's,
we are not, I do not believe that this board should make a political statement about a
Nor
data
do I.
center. I think it should be, are we comfortable amending the TIF? Yes or no? And that's as easy as that.
that should be done at the township level if they want to.
If the township decides to zone it,
So what would happen hypothetically? I know we can't really, but if they said hypothetically, no data centers, what is
he
that?
would go back to the residential properties.
And if he can't build them, then what? Does he default on the tip?
Yes, but I believe he is prepared to do either. He would prefer to do a data center. Two mini data centers, as he describes it.
Is that more profitable for him
The
versus?
price per square foot for tax assessments would go from $132 per square foot of residential to $1,000 per square foot for a data center. So
It's more profitable, don't get me wrong. The question is, do we need to have a TIF support that if the value of that product is going to be so much higher? We supported him in the TIF because we were saying, yeah, we need residential units, we need senior housing. That's a good reason to defer our tax base to do that. However, if he's saying, well, I'm going to put in these data centers that have a positive impact on our economy, sure, but don't necessarily require us to put public support towards it. That's not a good way to use public
That's why
education
I'm trying to
dollars.
understand that.
We would start
Yeah.
to get the taxes for, if we did this data center, we'd start to get taxes from him.
right away.
Much
Right
quicker,
away.
right, exactly. He doesn't need, if there's going to be a big developers that spend all that money, they don't need a TIF.
No.
That's
And,
my,
and we also did that TIF to increase our commercial property too in our district, which is
Yeah.
8 years, and we got a Wawa and a health center.
right.
And
In
And
Wawa.
he said that, he will go over all of the struggles he has had and what has delayed the project.
And he's had many. I mean, he just got very unlucky. We signed the TIF and then COVID hit. I mean, it was just,
Do you know how long the TIF was for?
it's
10
20
years.
years.
20
No,
years?
it's 20 years, 20 years. The first 10 years, 70% of the money that should have come to us goes to pay off TIF. And in the next 10 years, 70% of the money comes to us, and then the rest of the 30% goes to the TIF. The problem is he hasn't actually cited enough development to offset the cost for the TIF. So he's paying it out of pocket to get that 70% in there. At this point, it's not even a value to him anymore. That's the way I look at it.
Mhm.
Any other questions about Smithfield Gateway?
Now we have IDEA,
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 that's right.
special ed. Okay.
This is the yearly agreement that comes from IU20 pass-through funds for IDEA. We were awarded $1,209,784.19. We budgeted higher. I put that on there so you could see that. But why did we budget higher is because we were awarded more last year. Getting a decrease is, I think, not just an us thing, it's kind of universal, the chronic underfunding with IDEA and the money available to pass through. So it's not isolated to us, but
So-
you're approving the awarded amount of $1.2 million.
So we're gonna have a little bit of a shortfall then?
It's about $71,000 less than we expected. Or planned for.
Yeah, U-20.
Yep.
But it's not the IU-20 giving us less money.
No, no,
It's the
Yeah.
state.
It just passes
They
through,
got-
yeah.
that's just what we- It's what you gave us on Saturday.
It's federal, it's IDEA.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's federal, it's not state.
And making sure you're doing the right thing.
Yep, okay.
Next is the max cases for
Those
Chromebook.
were discussion items. Now here are items to move forward.
We have max cases for Chromebooks.
Wel-
Mr. Borat.
Welcome back, Brian.
Thank you. This didn't make the agenda last month because we're in a big rush to get the pricing for the Chromebooks, which I'm glad. I thank you for approving them last month. The pricing on those went up 10% last Monday. So we did save some money there by ratifying that and approving that last month. These are the cases that we put on, the always on cases that we put on all the student Chromebooks to protect against damage.
This is for 46,953, if I'm reading that correct.
That's correct. I think it's 27.75 per case.
Okay. That's these plastic things that I haven't.
Yes.
Mhm.
Brian, do you want to keep going with,
Could we reuse those plastic cases, like if a Chromebook is
Ha-
returned?
have you
They-
seen any of them come back from our children?
I don't know. Mine's all nice. It just got pretty stickers.
Brian, do you think we could reuse any of them?
No,
The,
No.
The cases?
well,
the
the
design
issue,
of the tablet changes.
correct. Thank you. If any devices that come back that we will reuse, we will try to reutilize those cases as well.
Okay.
And then the second item there is Cybernut. It's like phishing / cybersecurity awareness training. In the past, we've utilized CoFence, which we got 100% funded through the state and local cybersecurity grant. Moving forward, we reapplied for funds. The state lets you pick your own software provider now. We looked at four different software applications. We liked Cybernut the best. It's the least expensive. The grant shifted from 100% being funded to a 70-30 match, so a 30% local match. The rough amount, it would cost us about $4,500 a year for 3 years if we decided to move forward with this, with the remainder of that money being funded by the through that state and local cybersecurity grant program.
And is that for staff and students and other people?
It's staff only, so any employee, contractor, think about IU staff, we have about 110 that we give email accounts. Any coaches that aren't full-time employees, if we have like contracted out for a nurse service or anything like that. Anybody that has any adult that has your accounts, board member accounts, any ESASD adult account would be utilized for this.
Because student emails cannot receive external emails, correct?
That's correct. We have a walled garden for our for K-8.
I love that word.
Dr. Bukowski's gonna be so happy that you said walled garden again.
But only K through 8, so 9 through 12 can because of the college applications, I'm assuming?
That's correct. And other curricular projects they may work on. At times, there's some projects at the intermediate schools, and the teachers will provide us with very specific domains or even specific email addresses that will unblock so that they can partake in those projects as part of their curriculum.
Any other questions?
And then when a student graduates, we turn off their email immediately, I'm assuming? Or within a year or something like that?
Yeah, so when they are marked, either let's put it this way, when they leave the district, so they can withdraw and go to another school. or when they're marked as graduated. We keep those accounts in a, we keep those accounts for about 6 months because again, we have a probably about 18% transient population. So we keep those accounts. After that time, that's when we purge them out.
Okay.
Because I've seen students come again with accounts, like they might have been at JM Hill, they left for a month or two, they came back, they went to Smithfield, they left again, they came back, they ended up at ESC.
Gotcha.
So we don't want, we keep them longer because we don't want them to lose any potential work if they were to come back.
Gotcha. Just
And the other thing too is, I know there was a case or two I've heard in the past where seniors were using it for college purposes and then, getting shut off early and not being able to communicate with their college. So if we can extend them a little time after their graduation, that would be appreciated, I'm sure, by a lot of graduating seniors going on.
Okay. All right. Next up is capital payment summary.
This is just your monthly summary of where we are with our capital projects payments. And then as new was from last month, I put the finished projects at the bottom so you could see.
Did we revisit, this is a properties and facilities question, but I know we were speaking of revisiting the Keystone Fire Project at ESE.
That is on Wednesday's agenda.
Looking forward to
Yes.
hearing that.
Yes.
Yep. Yes.
That was one of the things I was wondering. And then we have our board visual stormwater phase. Glad to see we're on phase 3 now for stormwater, not phase 2 anymore.
We are why is it? Because that's done. Phase 3 is done.
We have not received all the,
Okay, we have not received all of the bills yet, invoices.
Glad to see we finally dropped off the gym floor at North, even though it wasn't 100% done and they just didn't want the rest of their money, I guess. That was on there. That was lingering for quite some time.
The floor at North?
Yeah, the gym floor at North was never completely finished. They never put in
Okay.
like a little ramp thing that was supposed to be there. They never put it in.
Okay.
And we kept saying, you're gonna do it, and they never came back. So they lost, we were at 89% paid.
Okay.
So they never took the rest of their money and just never came back.
Mhm.
So that's not on here anymore. That's good. It finally fell off.
The whole floor wasn't even where.
I know, it's all splitting now, but
Okay, public participation. We're
is there
moving-
anybody in the public? Online? We see anybody?
There's no one online.
Okay, well, hopefully they're listening via YouTube, because we
because
covered a lot of
see any-
important information today.
Nope.
All right.
couldn't see Lewis shake his head no.
Oh, I was you were looking at the thing. Like, wow,
All right.
you can see those things.
So with no public participation, let's make some motions to move some items forward. We'll have that presentation of the budget at next month's meeting. So
Mhm.
not that we need to move it forward, but just be aware that we'll hear more in April. So moving forward, we have the max cases for the Chromebooks.
So moved.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, we have cyber nut phishing software,
So moved.
which will be
Second.
$3,500 cost to the district per year
Aye.
because of a grant. Okay,
Aye.
and then just acknowledging our capital payment summary.
You need a motion for that? No.
Nope, we're just acknowledging it. We don't need to motion that one. Okay, our next meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, April 14th, here in the boardroom and via Zoom and broadcasted live on YouTube. Before we adjourn, any questions, concerns that we want to address? If not, we can get a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
Aye.
All right, all in favor? We're adjourning. Thank you,
Aye.
Keith, for joining virtually. Hopefully your drive is okay for Maryland.
Safe
Almost
travel.
there. Yep. Thank you.
Yep, bye-bye.
Have a good night.
Night.